Hi, thanks for tuning in here today. Today we're going to be doing a nice little fun painting. I hope you guys could follow along. So you can pull out your paints, your brushes, and we could get started with today's painting. Let me have them run the colors across the screen that you'll need to paint along. They'll be in the same order. I have them on my palette. Now, let me tell you what I got done up here. I have my regular 16 by 20 inch canvas, pre-stretched, double primed, and I added a thin layer of the liquid white. Rather than that, it's slick, it's wet, and it's ready to go. So we're gonna have fun today. Let's go ahead, let's go into a little bit of phthalo blue, a little bit of alizarin crimson. Like if you're trying to mix up a nice lavender, but I'm gonna take it more to the blue side. Just mix up random colors. It's always nice to mix up random colors. Let me add a little more of that. Shoot, maybe little touch of cadmium yellow. Very little. Just mix it up, see what you get. And if you don't like it, you can take it off your palette and throw it away or use it for something else. Now, let me grab my clean, dry 2-inch brush. We have this color we mixed up, and I'm just going to tap a little bit into my bristles. Tap both sides of the brush to ensure even distribution in the paint. As you can see, full of paint. Let's come up here and there we are. Just dance in a nice little sky that lives out there. Shoom. There we are. Nice little crisscross motion. There. And just go back and forth. There we are. Just get those edges, because when you're trying to sell them, those edges aren't painted. It doesn't look good on you. I'll tell you that much. There we are. Just a little bit more color just to kind of darken that up. Now, let me go ahead. Let me grab our fan brush. Number 6 fan brush. We'll go ahead and load it full of color. Just pulling through my left side. And just flip it around. Now all that color's on your right side. And we'll just come up here and just scrub in a nice little cloud that lives out in here. You can mush that paint in there, whatever you like. Whatever way makes you feel good or makes your life easier. Lift up, and I'm just gonna go back and forth here and there. Okay, a little bit more white. We'll just, I was gonna tap it, but we'll just do this. There, little stringy clouds that just live out in there. There we are. You know what? I gotta have some water in this painting somewhere. I'm gonna just put a little bit. I don't want it to be the main thing being water. It's just a little piece. There. Okay. Let me go ahead and let me pile up that color to the side, just in case we need it later. Just in case. Not saying we will, not saying we won't. Let's go ahead. Oh look, we're gonna need a little bit of that color. We'll go into that color, a little bit of brown, just a little bit. A little more of that color, and a lot more white. Okay, cut a roll. Let's go ahead, that's too dark. So what you can do is pull that color to the side and add white. That way that white will have more effect because that's less of that base color. Rather than you having to try to mix up all this, you have this lighter one. Look, that's much better. If we're trying to do something in the distance, much better. There we are. There. Just kind of have it nice and interesting shapes. There. There we are. Maybe something like so. We'll grab our brush and just align it and pull it. Align and pull. And just pull that color out. There we are. And you can just bring a little bit of mist down in there. Okay, now, first let's mix up a color. We'll grab a little bit of cadmium yellow and we'll mix it up to our whatever color we were mixing up over here. That was too dark. A little bit of yellow. Let's try a little bit of brown just to kind of dull it. A little more of that blue color. A little more brown in there. The brown is just dulling it down for me. That way it's not too vibrant. Since it's in the distance, I do not want it vibrant at all. I want it nice and dull to kind of show that it's there. You'll know what it is, but it's out in the distance, so you wouldn't see too much detail. Just grabbing a small, tiny flat brush and wiggling some paint into it. Pull both sides. Now, maybe, and even then, this one's kind of too vibrant, a little bit, but I don't mind working with it. Or not too vibrant, just too dark. But it's alright. It'll do the job. Sometimes I get a bit too picky with my colors and all that. There. There we are. Just a little indication of some grass that's growing out there in the distance. And out here we would see a little bit of shadows. Just think about those little details. There. Now we're gonna add a little bit more yellow. Make it a little more vibrant. Just very little. We don't want much. Load it up. You can add more yellow or less. Yeah, that's good because it's more vibrant than the one that we have for our shadows, but it's not too strong. There we are. Feel a little. Shoom. There. Okay. We'll grab our 2-inch brush that we're using for blending and our sky and just kind of grab it, tap it out, kind of tap and pull, and just slightly, very softly blend that out. Shoot, what the heck? We'll put in an extra little highlight. Just a little bit. Just so you know it's an extra little highlight, because if I do too much, it's just gonna blend in with everything. There. Just like so. There we are. Wherever you think you would see most of this, that's where it goes. Okay. Now, let's go ahead. Let's clear up that. We'll add a little bit more blue to this mixture. Just a little bit. That phthalo blue is very strong, so you gotta be careful. There. That's what I like. A little bit of lavender. Not lavender, alizarin crimson. Ooh. Is that too much? I think that'll do. We'll cut a little bit. Add a little bit of white to it. Now this one's gonna appear closer because of that value change. Maybe just sneaks in. And what helps makes it feel closer is if you make this one taller than this other one. So we gotta keep that in mind. Doesn't have to be, but it'll help with your perspective. So maybe right here it drops. Now you're probably saying that's like the same height. I know. We're gonna come up here and just a monster of a mountain or hill. We'll add a little bit more just to mix up. I ran out of it. There. Okay. Now we'll grab our 2-inch brush, grab it and pull it. And since there's liquid white underneath, you can pull this pretty easily with no struggle. Each time I do painting without any medium, this is very hard to do. It just takes longer and it's more work. There. A bit out here. But don't get rid of that line. That line will transition it. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let me clear out my palette. I don't need these colors. A little bit of brown, a little bit of white. And we'll grab our little flat brush, load it up, and we'll take it into that blue color because we have to make it look like it's in the distance. If we go straight into this color, it's just gonna make it pop out so much and it's gonna break our illusion that we worked so hard for. And we don't want to do that. So just loading up until it's like a brownish. There we are. Few little spots here and there. There. Load up your brush each time A little bit here, a little bit there. There, maybe this one comes out to right around there, but I'm gonna blend it out, right? Just that base. And shoo, this is the main one. There we are. Just mixing up until you get the color you desire. All this is kind of just mixing up colors, making sure they're not too strong, not too dull. Okay, a little bit you would see right there. We'll go into a little bit of that brown color, straight out brown. And that's still too dark. We're gonna grab a little bit of white. We're gonna add a few little highlights. The good thing is this one's supposed to be more closer, so you would see a little more details in this one. Not as much as, it's not as like the other one where you can't see as much. The other one you have to keep it very subdued. There we are. Just a few little sparkles and all that. Little bit extra sunlight kissing it. And just load up your brush each and every time. And just doop. All I'm doing really is using that corner of the black brush. There. Okay, we'll go into a little bit of brown, a little bit of blue. Shadows need a hint of blue. And a little more brown in there. A little touch of black. There, just mixing up those three colors, and we'll come up here and shoom. There we are. And everything comes together while working on the shadows, because then that makes your highlights stand out more. There we are. There. Load up your brush and just shoom. There. Boop, boop, boop. There we are. A few little things. We'll go ahead and grab our brush. Just blend it out a bit. And just like so. We'll grab a little bit of white just on the corner of my 2-inch. Just tap. And we're gonna add a little bit of white there. Now we have to blend out that white, but it's just to help create a little bit of fog. Just a little bit. Now, let's go ahead. Let's have something interesting. We'll go into a little bit of cadmium yellow, a little bit of brown in there, a little bit of black. Just mixing up. And load up your 2-inch brush, both sides full of color. And we'll come up here and just kind of determine where your land and all that goes. Mine's just gonna go like this. Let's just lock in that color. Okay, I'm gonna add a few little sparkles, so I'm going into cadmium yellow, tapping it into my base color just to kind of dull it out, but still have a little bit of that brightness. So I just need a little bit, just for the tops to show a little indication of like a little light kissing it. There we are. Now we'll add a little more black to that. We'll add slightest touch of phthalo blue, a little bit of cadmium yellow, just all mixing in the brush. No palette knife this time. A little more black. I want it dark. That way it has contrast. Let's come up here. You'll see that contrast. There we are. Kind of somewhere like around there. There we are. Just like so. Okay, a little bit of cadmium yellow, same thing. Tapping into my base color because I don't want to overdo it. If I go straight cadmium yellow, it's gonna kill all that work. And so with me doing that with tapping into my base color, it just kind of helps keep that highlight color subdued. Maybe we'd see a bit more since it's getting closer. We can add a bit more. I'll allow myself that. There. But not all the way to the bottom. There. Okay. Now, let's go ahead. We'll add a little bit of ivory black to that color. And let's just go ahead. You know what? I switch up a lot. We'll grab our fan brush, number 6. Load it up, full with ivory black, full with color. We'll go into this base color. That way we can knock that black down. Make it a little green. There. We're gonna come up here and maybe shoop. We'll test that out. We'll see. And just plop in what seems to be a few little evergreen trees. There we are. There. The Three Amigos. There we are. A little bit of cadmium yellow. Just loading up on the fan brush. We'll grab a little touch of liquid white just to make the paint stick on easier. Let's come up here and just a few little indication. I like that color. It's not too bright at all. I think it's perfect for what we're doing here. Okay. And I was about to use this on there. That would have been bad. Let's create a little bit of land. There, maybe out in here we just have a little something. Okay. And maybe that goes together. Sometimes I'll just do this rather than um, rather than tapping it, because tapping it for me is too long. I'll tap some edges here and there, but I'm not, for the most time, I'm not tapping. Okay, let's go ahead into cadmium yellow, load that brush up full with color, just push it into the bristles. We'll come up here and just, there we are. Come up here and shoom, a few little grassy areas live out here. This is when you get to that perfect camping site. The bears are hibernating. All you're doing is just going out for a hike. There we are. There. Just kind of tap that base out. And we'll just shoom. Since it's getting closer, it's alright to start to add more details and more contrasting colors. When we're working in the beginning, you want to use very dull and colors that kind of match similar. That way they look very distant. Okay, we'll go ahead, we'll grab a little bit of brown. Just like so, just that base brown color. And we'll just drop in a few little indications of some dirt. There we are. There. Okay, we'll go into our light brown color and just highlight that a bit. Oh, very gently. There we are. There. We'll grab a little bit of white. We'll just cut in a few little water lines. What the heck, why not? Okay. Now, let's go ahead into ivory black and just come up here and cover up all this. There we are. And all I'm gonna do is treat it like if it's the sky. I really don't care about that inside. I wouldn't recommend you guys stressing over that. Just block it in. We'll come up here and we want extra bright highlights to contrast these that are more blended, more nice. There. And a few little grassy would blend out, little grass pieces. Come up here. There we are. Now, last final things, we'll go into a little bit of brown with my fan brush. And we'll just create a nice little path. There. A little bit of light color. Needs to be lighter. There. Shoom. And we'll go into a little bit of that brown. Little touch of black. Brown and black. Let's come up here and just boop. There. There lives the tree. I'm not going to add too much detail because most of it's probably going to get covered up anyways. Little highlight. Shoom. Okay. We'll grab our good trusty 1-inch brush, take it through ivory black, and we'll just staple on a few little, or not little, but a lot of leaves. There. Maybe we see a little bit of that branch out in there. There we are. We'll load up that brush nice and full and just think about each little leafy layer. That'll create that sense of 3D if you think of each of the layers and leave some of that dark. If you kill all the dark, oof, good luck making it look 3D. And I tell you that because I've done it before. Little bush right out there. We'll load up our 1-inch. Shoom. Little different style bush. Shoot, I know we went a bit over time, but we're having fun. We'll do one last thing and I'll sign off. I know I said that the past 10 minutes. We'll come up here and just, oh, nice and strong, almighty tree. Boop. Boop. Maybe right there. Right there. Give your tree some character. Maybe out here. Right around there. Yeah, we'll say like that. A little bit of highlight color. Shoom. Needs to be lighter. Zoom. A little bit over here. Over here. And we'll create 1 or 2 bushes just to cover up the bases of the tree. Little feet. That's just a me thing. I love putting bushes on trees just so you don't see the bottom of it. And just mixing up random colors. And with that concludes today's painting. I really hope you enjoy it. Try this painting out. If you do, send me a photo. I would love to see what you create. I really wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care, my friends. Goodbye.